but up to you.
Okay, thanks a lot for Dushat for the brilliant thinking. Yeah. Yes, especially for the suggestions that we will do in the following steps, especially between the no matter the Vans business and the Paytm business, no matter for the mobile subscription or mobile in stores. Actually, 197 and Paytm do not, especially for the payment part. And now for our next part of sharing, we invited one of our speakers from OLX. It's really well expert in this mobile marketing field, especially for mobile user acquisition and also online e-commerce. Yeah, let's welcome Annette. Yeah.
Irene, and thank you for inviting us for the Global Mobile Advertising Trends Forum as well. It's good to be here, good to be in Bangalore. So I represent OLX. I handle mobile marketing and partnerships for OLX South Asia. I'll just give you a brief introduction about OLX. OLX is present in more than 60 countries. Just a second. Yes, OLX is present in more than 60 countries. We are the classified leaders of the world. We have a dominant position in more than 30 countries in the world. And yeah, so we are the biggest classified in the world right now. So the digital, I'll start, my topic is basically mobile e-commerce, mobile advertising and e-commerce in India, the opportunities and challenges that we have. So the digital India opportunity is right now. It's basically has already begun. So the things that we've been talking about all this while, like the hockey stick growth for smartphone penetration in India is actually happening. It's a reality as of now. So smartphone has been increasingly giving us a very convenient and an easy way to browse data, to browse through sites, to buy products and things like that. So now we don't have to really look for a laptop to buy things, to browse through products. We can be sitting at an airport lounge or traveling in the metro and still buying stuff. So smartphone is actually making that happen. So 600 million users by 2020. That's actually double the current size of United States population. The opportunity is immense. And this is primarily being fueled by the government of India as well. I'm really sorry, I'm just trying to figure this out. Yeah. So the heartening thing is the government of India is also helping us out with its Digital India initiative. A couple of things that they've been doing, something like Wi-Fi in 250,000 schools, and all the universities will be covered with Wi-Fi. Apart from that, having public Wi-Fi hotspots. And all of this is basically going to make India a hotbed for internet growth in the coming years. So the digital ad market is supposed to boom as well. I'm really sorry, but this is kind of it's a little delayed. It happens after a couple of seconds. Yeah. So right now the current size of the digital marketing, the digital ad space in India is around $600 million, and it's about 8% of the total marketing spends which happen in the country. So this is actually supposed to grow to 19% by 2020. And that is something which is going to be very, very significant. So that is supposed to be that's supposed to grow to $2.8 billion by 2020, and by 2030 it's going to be huge. It's going to be $15 billion. But yeah, I know 2030 is a long shot. But again, and mobile advertising and social media advertising are going to be the biggest contributors to the digital ad space, contributing almost around 60% of the overall pie. So yeah, $4.6 billion is going to be the mobile advertising space worth, and it's going to grow immensely. So the mobile growth has been phenomenal in the country. It has leapfrogged desktop internet in 2012 itself. And what we've observed in the past was the first 10 to 100 million internet users got added in a decade. And then the next 100 million to 200 million users got added in 3 years' time. And the last 100 million, we added in less than a year. So the growth is absolutely phenomenal. So we've so we've actually seen the similar growth for OLX as well. Our page views have grown from 25% in 2014, in early 2014, coming from the mobile side, from the mobile platform to around 85% right now. The growth is excellent for us, and this has primarily been possible because of our superior mobile efforts, be it in product or marketing. So we had an app on all the three platforms as early as 2012. And we've been doing paid performance marketing since as early as end of 2012. So yeah, so we've been first movers in this space. And apart from that, the offline marketing has also supported us really well. If you remember our campaigns, phone ko banao cell phone, or click upload sell, and all these things have combined to make an enormous impact for us on mobile, and we've grown leaps and bounds. So, but again, even though the growth has been phenomenal, the user growth story has been absolutely amazing. What we've been seeing is that conversions have not grown as per the user growth. With conversions, I mean, for a classified company like us, it would be somebody coming to our site and posting an ad, or somebody coming to our site and replying to an ad, basically being a seller or a buyer. So yeah, and for an e-commerce player, it would be somebody adding a product to his cart and eventually making that purchase. So that is something that has not really grown as we would have expected. So what is important is to find the right balance between scale and performance. Finding the right balance between how much money to spend in acquiring a user and how to basically make him do an activity on the site. So for OLX, we've seen that the conversions from paid daily active users has gone down over time. So if you see over here, in Jan 2014, we were doing somewhere around 19% conversions from our paid DAUs, from paid daily active users. So now this has gone down to around 13.5%, which is something which was not expected, because ideally it should have been stable or probably grown. So yeah, again, if the conversions go down, so cost per conversion increases with scale. And to sustain the incremental growth in conversions, so adequate amount of scale is required to keep the growth going. So how do we strike the right balance? So once we start going after scale, we figure out that uninstall rate goes higher by a higher percentage, which is something extremely strange. So yeah, so once we try, the more we try scaling up, the uninstall rate keeps going higher, and eventually that results in the retention rate going down. So yeah, so retention is something which is very integral to our business. So what is important is for us to find out the optimal spend level, wherein we figure out that the uninstall rate is kept in check, and which eventually leads to higher retention rates. So yeah, again, push for scale leads to lower retention rates and high installs, which is something what an e-commerce player would not want to have, would not like to have. So what is exactly our requirement? A requirement of a mature internet player. We want to maintain high retention rates. High retention rates are very integral to our business. So with high retention rates, if you're doing a user acquisition and we're able to retain the user, we're able to target the user in a whole lot of other ways. Like we can send out push notifications. The most important thing is the product itself. If a user sees value in the product, then he's definitely going to stick around. And then, of course, there are other mediums, like we do on-ground activities. We send out push notifications. We started doing content marketing. Then of course there's offline marketing. So all of these factors basically help the user convert. But what's the most important thing? It's the retention. It's retaining the user. So what is the key over here? So how to basically find the right channel for acquisition? So there's one thing we know for sure, that incent inventory is the most unadulterated inventory which is available in the market right now. Because if you ask for incent, you will definitely get incent. And if you ask for non-incent, you're going to get incent as well. So yeah, so I'm not sure if the networks would agree with me on this, but yeah, that is how it is as a reality. Again, serious topics aside. So yeah, so incent works can work for someone who is looking to significantly boost his install numbers, or a new entrant who is basically looking to gain on exposure. Basically, someone who is looking for funding. Again, jokes aside. So yeah, so it usually drives lower lifetime value of the user, and the users basically install the app without really wanting it. So we're not sure how it works. It definitely does not work for a free classified player like us. So non-incent definitely has a lot more value. We get good quality users. The stickability of the user is pretty high. There's a high lifetime value. Of course, it comes with a little more expensive. It comes out to be a little more expensive, but I think we can do away with that. So what exactly is our requirement from the networks, from the ad networks? So what is important is for the inventory to be visible. We do not want to work on blind inventories. That is something which really does not work for us. We really need to understand which publisher, where exactly our inventory is running, which sub-publisher we are able to target, basically to find out which categories are working for us and which categories are not working for us, so that we can get back to you and tell you that this is the sports category is not really working for OLX. We're not getting quality users from it, so we should stop running our ads over there. So this is something which is very integral to us, and I would like the network support on this. Apart from that, so we have so the biggest thing is acquisition versus retention. So right now we do CPC, CPM, CPI kind of buys, but the networks also need to understand that what the e-commerce advertiser is looking for is quality, is basically performance. So we should look at working on maybe a cost per retention campaign. So yeah, that might just work for us. Or and of course, finding just the right audience is tough. So deep user targeting, pragmatic buying is something which we are looking forward to. We've already started implementing that. And yeah, we've seen quite decent results from it. And of course, we've been running banner ads across for the past couple of years now. But these simple plain Jane banner ads, I don't think how good they work. So I think the users are looking for interactivity, and with the new native ad formats coming up in all the sites, I think it should evolve much better. Yeah. So thanks a lot. Thank you guys. Any questions? I don't know. I don't think I'm going to answer that because we are a classified company. Thanks a lot. Yeah, I'm open for questions. You can reach me out, please. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks a lot for Annette. It's really very detailed picture into your experience on user acquisition, especially with your more than 3 years on this field. As for now, maybe for ad network, we'll always go together and also discuss with our clients what we can do more to turn more visible for our part of the blind traffic on this system and market. And then from the next, maybe we will invite one of the Chinese company. And I believe that everyone in this room, UCWeb and UC browser. And I think for UC now, you really achieve quite successful results within Indian market. And then I really cannot wait to want to hear from Robert from UCWeb India to share with us their experience in this market and user management. Okay.
Hello everyone, I'm Robert Wu from UCWeb India, Alibaba Mobile Business Group. It's my great honor to share the stage with you today. And today I'm not going to share some general numbers or some trend in Indian market, but I just want to share our experience and share what we have done and how to do the localization in Indian market. Okay, so for UCWeb, first of all, let me introduce a little bit about UCWeb and his product. And we were established in 2004. And last year, we were fully acquired by Alibaba Mobile Group. At that time, that was the largest M&A deal of the history of Chinese mobile internet market. And we have 3 products. The first one is the UC browser. And apart from that, we have the 9 apps and 9 games, which is the top app and game stores in India. And the third one is UC Union. It is a network mobile traffic platform. So, okay. So for the UC browser, I think some of you are the UC browser users. And for UC browser, it is the #1 third-party mobile browser in the world. It has already occupied more than 50% of global market share globally. And in the last year, we achieved 100 million daily active users. It is a very great number. Okay. So because of our focus and dedicated to do the localization, and so we have a very great achievement globally in China, India, and Indonesia. We are the #1 mobile browser in these 3 most popular in emerging markets, especially in India. In India, we dominate the Indian market with, according to the latest statistic from Seconder, we achieved 49% of the market share in this market. And you can see there's a very interesting picture, and this picture is one of our users taken from the script and sent to us. Our logo was printed in the sari, a very traditional Indian woman jacks. So you can see, okay, how popular is our product in Indian market. And we launched our first overseas office in Delhi 3 years ago. Sorry. So now let me introduce some of the cases to do the localization. I think that might be very helpful for some Chinese company or the foreign companies to how to enter Indian market and how to do the localization. First of all, if you want to do the localization, of course, you need to understand what the user needs. So for India has a large number of population using SNS. According to the statistic, I think it's more than 100 million users are using SNS, and most of them are using Facebook. So we team up with Facebook to give the best experience to the Indian users. How? We allow the user to receive the real-time Facebook notifications in the browser. It is the first, when we exit the browser, we can also receive the real-time notification. And this is the first time Facebook team up with the browser to let the user get the real-time notifications outside of its native apps. Also, we team up with Facebook to work with